All right, you got everybody here. Call this thing to order and have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Lord, Heavenly Father, we thank you for another opportunity to come here and do the work of Banks Township. Lord, we thank you for these new board members and all 5 of us here, that we have people in this community willing to serve their fellow residents. Lord, we ask for your guidance as we discuss a number of items tonight, and look forward to seeing how it goes and get us all home safe. We ask all these things we have in Jesus' name. Amen.
On the agenda, can I add for bills? I want to ask questions. I don't know if you have to add that or not.
On the bills, we can talk about that. We'll just do that during the treasurer's report, and then we're gonna pay them.
Yeah,
Yep, that'll
I
be
just didn't know
fine.
if that was something.
Oh, that'll be fine. Anything else need to be added to the agenda?
Oh, and I'm recording.
Yeah, so a little bit different here. Julie's gonna record the session, so that she can take her minutes without us having to slow down or write them down, I guess. So, and then as soon as the minutes are done, it gets deleted, so. Everybody's aware of that. All right, and so we'll start tonight with public comment. Yes, sir. No, I'll get JL real quick.
Okay.
Mark, I got you on here. We'll
Okay.
talk about that.
I want to address the mess that I am going to call Essex Road. It's been a disaster since I've lived out on Church Road. I got it twice a day. So there are some who would like to see it turn into a superhighway, kind of like Atwood Road. And my own opinion is that you don't need 2 superhighways connecting 31 to Ellsworth. Furthermore, you do something, you make something superhighway, and the next thing you know, you got people using it like a superhighway. And I don't really want that kind of traffic on Essex Road. I've used Dennis to Toad Lake, over to Ellsworth. It's a dirt section. I like that section. It's easy. In fact, I prefer to use that section when Toad Lake Seasonal is available. Right now it's snowed in, so I kind of have to go around. Or get stuck, which Rubens Dairyland has rescued me more than once in the seasonal part of Toad Lake, because I just can't stand going through town. There are a couple spots on Essex Road that do benefit greatly from having pavement on them. I'm going to name 4 of them. One would be the intersection with 31. It's very steep there, so as far as cost benefit goes, maintaining some pavement there would be good for our government versus washing and trying to get vehicles through there. The intersection of Church, Peebles, and possibly even Eaton Road are other steep spots that could possibly wash and create hazards for motorists. So there are some spots where pavement would be advantageous. However, I would prefer, and I'd like to see all the pavement removed, all the other pavement removed, and it returned to a managed dirt road.
Okay.
Plain, simple, that's all that I have to say at this time. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Any other public comment? Dave?
I just want to thank the new board, wish you luck. And the old board had passed the retirement program. And Brad's been on this department for 30 years and got off this year, and I would like to see this board consider him as part of that when you guys are taking action on that. That's not why he's here, but.
That would be the last thing I would expect out of
Yeah.
Brad.
And when I mentioned it to him, he said, I wouldn't, no, thank you, but I know what Brad's put into that, and it's, being a past board member, and you guys know Brad and appreciate the hard work that he does, and I think he deserves to be honored, just like everyone else that we decided to take care of.
Yeah,
So,
I agree. Okay. Thanks, Dave. Any other public comment before I close it for this session? All right, moving on to the approval of the minutes. I think all of you were here at the meeting, even though you weren't on the board at that time, so if you see something that's wrong, point it out.
The only thing is Beth didn't, this reads like Beth asked for money for the Little League program and she did not.
No, she did not, you're right.
Yeah, and
Okay,
this
so
reads
that
like she
was
did ask for money. It's just it's how it's worded,
right here, yeah.
the number 20.
Oh, yeah, yeah, we can rewrite that.
She wasn't
even here. I mean,
Yeah, she wasn't here. I was saying she wasn't here and she didn't ask for,
No.
she is asking, she is on her own asking different businesses for donations.
Yeah, so
And
my
that's
goal
separate.
there was to get ahead of things and maybe start the support for that Little League program a little earlier this year, but,
It's just worded wrong, that's all.
yep, I'm trying to think of how to reword it. I would just change it to supervisor, brought up,
Did you hand me a copy of those minutes or no? Got an extra one?
You have,
Thanks.
brought up, past, sponsorship by the township of the Ellsworth Little League program. That's all, probably, we can replace that first sentence and just say supervisor brought up past sponsorship of Ellsworth Little League program, and then scrap that. It's not, nobody's asking for more funding, it's
Yeah.
just the funding that we normally do. So then end that there and say discussion was held, board will wait until the official request from the village leaders before approving additional funding.
okay,
That work?
yeah.
Okay.
Who will be signing these? Because I do need a signed copy for the bank. I gave them a preliminary copy. Will Donna have
Donna.
to sign them then? We're gonna, because they weren't approved, they were draft minutes, so now that.
So then it would
when
be
we
me.
approve 'em- Okay,
It'd
it'd
be
be
me.
me, okay.
So when I go in, the way you're supposed to do it is you draw a line through what needs to be changed. So I would just put a line through her name and add mine. You
Okay.
can't delete anything that's in there and written.
Mhm.
We can draw a line through it and write the correct information.
Okay. Then a motion to approve the minutes with the amendment?
So move.
Second.
Just another correction.
What's that?
The ordinance number on 13, the road extraction ordinance.
Okay.
I made the motion to duly supported. Ordinance number 7.
You had moved it, or say again?
I made the motion and Julie.
Okay.
seconded.
All right. For the zoning ordinance?
Yeah,
Okay.
Julie motioned the first one.
Oh, Julie did motion the first
The
one?
first one, yeah,
Okay.
that was her. Second one.
Sorry.
backwards.
Oh, gotcha, okay. You have a better memory than me. Thus the minutes, right?
I'll make it blame for it, I should take credit for that.
Fair enough. All right. Okay. All right, does your motion still count?
Yep.
One of you gentlemen? All right. And you supported it?
I would just like to read something since there's a question on whether or not I was doing this right, so, because I heard you. So in the rule book, the public body must make any corrections in the minutes at the next meeting after the meeting. Corrected minutes must be made available at or before the next meetings. You cannot. The correct meetings must show both the original entry and the correction. So you put a line, I just went to a training, you put a line through it, write what's corrected, and that's what you go with. Okay.
That's not correct. It should say submitted by Donna Harris, because she.
It will still say that. It will say, I just said her name, because she's not the one signing them, I am. Donna is no longer the clerk, I am. So Donna can't sign them.
Yeah, I
She
don't know how
can't.
But she took the actual minutes at the meeting,
Right.
Very true.
so they should say submitted by Donna. and
Yeah,
approved
which
by
they
the board.
will, right?
They will.
Yeah, yeah.
But I can't sign my name.
It says it on our copy, it should say submitted by Donna Harris down there, that's all.
It does.
Yeah, that's what it says on there right now.
It does. There's two pages.
There's 2 pages and they just want
They're
to
front
go
to back.
together, so.
So they do say that. So all I have to do is cross out Donna's name, write in my name and sign it. I can't sign Donna's name and Donna can't sign it because she's not here.
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably put a line there, that says
Yeah.
respectfully submitted by Donna Harris, signed Julie Harris, clerk.
Cellist.
Julie Harris. Donna, she signed Donna Cellist.
Cellist.
I got your first name right, didn't I?
You did.
Okay, thanks.
Still cellist, so yes, that is, because
Yeah.
we can't have her sign them, but she
No, you're right.
wrote them.
Yeah, I agree. You're good. All good. Cool. All right, motion, support, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
You wrote it all down on your thing, right? On your
Part,
minutes?
yes, I did.
Everything, okay, because I'll need those.
Yep. If you can read it,
Yes,
you'll be a winner.
I can read chicken scratch.
All right. With that, we'll start the monthly reports. Jairus?
The county commissioners at our last meeting passed a resolution to create a combined Antrim County District Court. And it's pretty short, so I'll just read it here for a second. Whereas Antrim County administration of district court responsibilities would allow a reduction of cost to Antrim County taxpayers while providing the best services to the public. And whereas a single judge over Antrim County's probate and district court would provide better execution of justice for Antrim County families and better communication to Antrim County government. And whereas Antrim County desires a more efficient administration of justice for its people, now therefore be it resolved that the Antrim County Board of Commissioners respectfully requests that the Michigan Legislature, the Governor, and the Michigan Supreme Court take the necessary steps to create an Antrim County District Court in which the probate judge for Antrim County shall also serve as its judge. So that was undertaken at the last commissioner meeting, and the bill has been written. It has to go before the legislature and be signed by the governor, and they're expecting sometime in April that it will be taken up. They are estimating that it would save the taxpayers around $150,000. Because right now we're combined courts with Grand Traverse and Leelanau, and Grand Traverse undertakes about 80% of it, so they call 80% of the shots, and we pretty much do what they tell us. Leelanau County is also in the process of creating their own court system, so that we're like 11% and they're like 9%, and Grand Traverse is the rest. So if that happens, then Leelanau will have theirs, and we'll have ours, and Grand Traverse will have theirs.
Does that save $150,000 a year or just a one time?
Probably a year.
Good deal.
And it will also allow the creation of a drug court if we get a prosecutor that would be inclined to do that, which would be a huge step forward, because right now you have somebody who has an offense, they get their driver's license taken away, and in order to enroll in drug court, they have to drive to Traverse City, and they have no driver's license. So they have to find a ride to Traverse City, and it just makes it very hard for them to complete a drug court, and if they can complete that, a lot of times it's easier for them to get a job again. Thank you.
Thank you, Jairus. You want to say anything about the sheriff's report? You want me to?
Yeah.
So I get to pick what 74 incidents, 8 car deer accidents, 22 medical calls. Those are your biggies. Where's the other one that I'm looking for? Doesn't look like any B&Es. That's good news. So anyway, if anybody's interested, you can certainly come and look at this. But that's what they did for us. And the election's over, so we probably won't see them for a while. All right, Katie, treasurer's report.
Monthly fund report. I sent you a PDF via email. This is the monthly fund report, based on a report I got at some early training I took. I start with the beginning balance. I debit the checks from the last meeting, and I add in the receipts from this meeting. So as we sit here, this is the most recent balance in every account. And at the very bottom, you'll see where all the money actually is. Charlotte State Bank checking. I also have money in a CD and money in Michigan class account. Now, I'll be coming to you later with like an updated deposit policy. I haven't done that in a few years, talking about what I legally can and can't do with the money, what I'm supposed to do with idle funds. But anyway, this is the monthly fund report. I'll do that every month.
Do we have a policy on that right now?
Oh, yes,
Because I looked,
yes.
everything is just, and I asked Donna, like, is there a policy on this, that, or the other?
Oh, yes,
and-
there is that's the law. There, we have, I think we've done it twice, the investment policy, but yeah, I
Okay.
have the book, I have the policy.
So you have it?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
just making sure that there is
Oh, yeah,
one.
yep, because there, there are limitations to what you can do with township funds. You can't play the stock market, no Bitcoin, whatever. Has to be in things that protect the principal. But I have that, and I will be revising it. This
What's
is
our
the
approximate interest rates on these?
4%.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's 4%.
Okay, I just put that in.
This is the receipts, the money that comes in. Michigan Class is this investment pool that the county is in, a lot of the municipalities in Michigan are in. American Tower, that's the rent and revenue sharing. We got the reimbursement from the county, money from the Village of Ellsworth. The Consumers Energy was the reimbursement for franchise publication, money for cemetery lots, and then interest on the CD. So, and then moving on to the bills. Really, what do you have for us?
Great Lakes Energy and Consumers, it's easier than looking at this. Because we pay for we have the fire department for Great Lakes Energy, the Atwood Streetlight. I have stuff here from the previous meeting for the food and the snacks. Internet, phone. We paid, it was time to pay John Fant.
I see the, yep.
Yep, so we paid John Fant everything from now for a whole year. He submitted everything. Some plaques. Larry's tire invoice, which was back, I don't know if you saw that, that was
Yep,
back
yep.
from May. Yep, from the cleanup, but we just got that.
Well, we didn't just get that. I got that back in May 22nd, and I failed to give it to Donna.
Well, you could have went with, we just got that.
I could have, but I'm happy to own up to my error.
They
So
didn't
I
charge
apologize.
us interest? Or
No, I call her and I'm like,
Come and
why didn't you
repossess
tell me
something?
that
You know, nothing.
that you guys were missing? Oh, it's fine. You guys had an interesting way of running a business, but okay. I would not have been offended if she had sent me an email, but
It's paid,
So,
well, we'll be
anyway, we're
paying.
paying it,
Yeah,
so.
we're paying it. Then we got the printer and copier that we share with the village. That elevator fee, I have that here, the contract for that. Attorney fees, part of it is then the planning commission for Beckett and Radar. Co-op bills for the fire department.
We paid planning commission, looks like.
Yep. Mark for doing work for the fire department. The treasurer, we owed the treasurer money for computer services, the county.
Yep,
not you.
every month, yeah,
Yep.
every month we do that.
Publications in the paper for the ordinances, there was 2 different ordinances printed and that was paid. Strange security. The winter tax bills went out, so we had to pay the stamps, the postage for that. There was a balance on that, because Donna had said you guys already paid, you had to put so much forward.
Yep,
So
yep.
then we paid the
Yep.
remainder to bill
Costs
those.
several $1,000s to,
Yeah.
Yep, twice a year.
I was like, holy smokes. We owed, so there's a second invoice in here for Dave Harris. He didn't submit the first invoice right.
Okay,
So this is just part of his winterizing. He shorted himself.
okay.
So that's that. Some more stuff for the fire department. There was a training in there for me. I went down to MTA. I only put in for mileage reimbursement. I stayed with a friend of mine and she took me out to dinner, and then they fed us at the conference. So, I just did for mileage. Consumers Energy, fuel,
You 60 cents a mile?
is 6.67.
67, yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
0.6
Cool.
0.67 is the new rate.
Perfect.
You got DTE, Town Hall Electric,
Yep,
is that, we don't pay consumers
no.
for electric?
That should be for the gas.
Oh,
Consumers is in here too.
yeah, okay. So DTE should be for gas.
Yeah.
And I don't see the one you said to advertise the ordinances. Who's
It
that
is
to?
through,
West Shore Publications,
yep,
that's the interim review.
it was, who was that?
Okay, yep, got it. Thank you.
I just have a question, and I think it's more for you and Katie. So, and this is just the way my mind works, just so. Donna had said the one way to pay bills and check register and payroll was to go back in the old check registers so I could see where things were assigned to, right? So that way I knew, okay, here's a bill for Dave Harris. I can look up Dave Harris, Banks Township, and I'm using him because it's the first one I thought of. Banks Township Historical Society, this is what it gets filed under, right?
Okay, You mean
Yeah.
account, you mean account like
Which
101,
account?
21,
Yep.
500,
So
yep.
that's how I
account.
know, right? Rather than calling her every little second and saying, hey, what's this? And that was the best advice that I
Right,
got. 'Cause-
Right, let's just follow what we've done, because it
Yes.
passed the audits.
And it made it so easy.
Yes.
It made it so
Yeah.
easy to do this because of that. So I have a question on something that was paid, because I went back in the minutes and I don't find it. There was a rental fee for $3,000, which I know I had. So alls it says is it was paid to Dave Harris for 216 days, $15 a day. So I mean, now it's just fun, like, okay, well, that's 7.5 months. What's it for? Like, now I'm curious, what's it for?
Trailer,
I wasn't aware he was charging us for that.
That's
Oh,
why
yeah.
we didn't go with,
We thought we were borrowing that, yeah.
otherwise
Oh.
we would've bought
We,
one.
we could have bought one for that, we didn't know we were paying for it. Nice.
Yeah.
I told you there was an underlying condition.
Is that something that has to be in the minutes? That's my question. And like, so
for
we can't,
what, to serve what purpose?
to have an expenditure
Yeah,
like that.
We spent money that we didn't approve in minutes. I mean, apparently. I remember,
Did we? I mean, what would have been the starting date?
when they, about,
January 14, yeah, right around the 14th of January, middle of January.
when you guys took the trailer,
When the
started
truck-
using
got
it?
the trailer, put
The only thing
truck
that's
down to-
mentioned is
Yeah.
in February.
Because you basically
It says that
offloaded the
trailer-
thing into the
the
trailer, right?
trailer is working out well.
Did we ever?
That's the only
I don't remember if
part
we,
ever,
No?
yeah, that it ever talks about
Ever.
the trailer.
Oh, I seem to
Nowhere in
remember
there.
that they were gonna charge us for it, but,
And I don't mean
Okay.
to overstep on it.
I know it was on our
But,
insurance premium, we
you know,
paid for
we
the
discussed-
insurance, so.
Essentially buying
Whatever
a
that
trailer,
implied.
and then that was brought up to us, well, hey, you can borrow our trailer, 'cause it's just sitting there not being used. So in my opinion now, hearing this, it's like, we could have bought a trailer, then we would have had an asset.
yeah.
And so now, where'd that money, who paid for that? Where'd that money come from?
The fire
Fire
fund,
fire department.
the equipment fund.
So
we still
that
have the
money-
trailer?
No.
No, it's Dave's.
No, I mean, it went back.
It went, yeah, Dave needed it back.
Now we have Allied trailer.
We got Allies trailer now.
When was that switch?
Back when Dave said he needed the trailer back.
Yeah, I
So it'd been
don't know when that-
August-ish timeframe.
I mean, in all fairness, that was only supposed to be like a 6-week
Yes.
Right.
borrow.
That is why, I
And-
mean, I remember saying, yeah, that's fine, and we'll do that, rather than buy one, because the cost was expensive to buy a, frankly, if you guys are gonna buy one, I'd rather see you get an aluminum one that's gonna last you a long, long time, which is gonna cost us $7,000 to $10,000, somewhere in there. And so this was a holdover just to get us by, because there was a miscommunication in how long the truck was gonna be gone. We all were led to believe 60 days for some reason.
Well, I think that's an ally. I mean, they should reimburse the township for the rental of that trailer.
Can we do that?
I don't have a problem doing that. Yeah, that's a fair
I mean,
point.
they've had,
You can certainly send them a bill.
they've had $100,000 for money and a truck for a year now.
That's a very fair point, Dave.
I think that's a good plan,
Excellent, that was a very good plan.
especially if it wasn't supposed to go on for as long.
No, it did make sense at the time to
Yeah.
buy a trailer
Oh,
for
yeah.
6 weeks, and
Yep.
now we're talking 6 months,
10 months.
10 months.
11 months.
Yeah.
So it's still not fixed?
No.
No, when I talked to him on the phone, he said 2 months was never a realistic deal. I don't know how that all broke down, I don't know what exactly was the failure in communication there, but he said this is definitely, this was always gonna be at least 6 months, and then the paint crew hosed them over for 6 months, so,
Yeah, but we knew it wasn't gonna be 2 months,
yeah.
but we,
We took them at their word, yeah.
a year is.
Yeah, a year is crazy, so, but I will definitely call Josh and see what I can do with that. I don't know what else to do about that, because we didn't
No, I
record
think
our
that-
meeting in January,
But
so.
I think asking them to reimburse for trailer rental is
Oh, I know, yeah.
like a really good idea.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely.
Yep, I just mean if, for fixing the minutes
yeah,
back
you
then,
can't.
there's not much we
Even
can
if
do
it
about that,
was-
so.
Even if it's not saved for the whole time, but the last 2 or 3 months
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
Because
It-
I could see being 2 months gone, 3 months gone, maybe at the most.
Split
but-
this thing with us or something, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Work with me. I try for all of it first.
I will, oh, yeah.
All of it with the interest. Well, I'm just saying, you know it's gonna go on even longer.
I know where the truck's at, so. this-
Fortunately, we're using their trailer now, they have an incentive to get it back, cause they don't
True.
have their service trailer, so.
At some point, they're gonna want their trailer back too.
That's what I was just saying, so. Any other questions about the bills for anybody?
Do you have the report and where are the checks?
I give you the checks.
The checks are.
Oh, for the bills?
Yeah, for the bills.
No, I did not print the bills yet.
Okay.
Because of, so I owe, this is what I was telling Katie, I owe Cindy Busman money. But I don't know how to pay her. Because I have 2 different things written down and I can't figure out if I'm supposed to pay her per meeting or there's an hourly wage. And I was talking to Donna about it, but her phone cut out, so I'm gonna wait till she gets back, so we have to do a post-meeting audit on just her. Everyone else is in. She's the only person do not have in.
Okay, because some of these, like, I'm sure I need to mail some of these checks, like, to the utilities and such.
We could,
Yes.
I mean,
I can print them. Donna said
that
if
check
I,
is not gonna break my mom, Cindy.
She can-
So, we can wait till next month, I'm sure. to pay
cause then
that
I
one.
can, cause once I print them, it closes out the payment for December, and I didn't wanna do that.
Okay.
Well, our fiscal year is March 31st.
March.
So I'm
it doesn't
okay to
make
pay
a
her.
difference, yeah. I'd say we figure it out and pay it in January. That's
Okay.
how I would recommend we do it.
Well, I'm gonna think that you're speaking for your mom and that she's okay with that.
But
And
geez,
she's not getting
I'll
paid.
find some way to give her some money to get her by.
I'm gonna tell her
I'll tell you, that ain't
to
gonna be a problem.
I tried.
It's on the side.
I don't want a special meeting to approve something, so.
Well, no, you don't have to have a meeting to do it. It's
No?
just the fact that I'm stating right now that I will talk to, Donna is, I think Tuesday or Wednesday, we were gonna get together
Okay,
and go over that and get everything printed, which I can do that tonight if you want. And we can do her then, as long as I acknowledge that we are doing her, right now that we are doing her then.
that's fine with me.
So I will get her her money. I
Okay.
just,
Sounds good. If we can do that without a meeting, that's fine.
we,
For me.
You're not a good Samaritan. Yeah.
All right, do we have a motion to approve the bills?
yes.
Julie moves, and support? Richard supports. Any further discussion?
So that's why they're not.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Okay, that was okay.
All right.
Okay,
Not print them.
okay.
Zoning administrator
Okay, yeah,
report.
'cause I don't have a card this week, so it depends on when I have to come and print the checks out. Can you print them?
Well,
at
I have
that?
a whole
I
lot
can
to
have them
report, it's been pretty
Okay,
quiet.
that would be good.
I don't mind doing that.
You'll see from the planning commission meeting, and that's what I told them, that just concerns per zoning permit. From a nuisance side, there's just one that I'm working on right now, it's on Doctor Road, making some progress. I had written a citation, but apparently I screwed something up with the court, I didn't check the right box. We'll figure it. And,
Blessing
anyway,
blessing in disguise, though.
well, it did, because then I was able to get a hold of him again and, actually make some progress, so.
And we don't have to pay an attorney,
But I put it on
I'll
there.
pay the attorney for that one.
so far anyway.
So, progress is being made. I was told the
Do you see it on the?
the bus that's on this property won't come out till spring, but, the rest of it's getting worked on, so. I'm giving them some extra time on that, and, other than that, I don't have anything else really to report for you guys.
I'm
Any
giving all
questions?
these to you. No, thank you.
Okay, it's me.
Thank you.
This one has the check.
Just realized I don't think anybody's here from the planning commission, so I guess I'll pull out my computer and grab my minutes for that. Sorry.
I think that's the only envelope I have.
But
She
with
said you
that,
liked the
while I do
envelope.
that, Mark, you wanna give the fire department report?
Biggest thing, as we talked about the truck that's being worked on, we've been actually seeing some progress on it in the last month. Photo updates and some communication with the company finally that, they are doing things. I got some more pictures, saw the pictures that came today, they're looking good, so.
Yeah, come
I'm
along.
hopeful that, by the end of the month, or early next month, we'll have a truck. Other than that, most of us are here looking for, a purchase of air packs this evening, so that's why the group is here this evening, to meet the meeting board.
Yeah,
But, I'll get the air packs when you wanna get to that one.
that'll be one of the first things,
Okay.
cause I know you got family in town, so. Okay, Tina, anything with the DDA?
We have not had a meeting since Christmas in the village, but we, the DDA would like to say thank you for doing your part. It added a lot. For those of you that don't know, we had a 300-pound, 6'4" elf at our, it was great. It was great. It just set it off. Considering that we were in between, like, we were in the eye of a snowstorm, we had about 65 people show up for the very first Christmas in the village, and it was just a very nice. It went a lot faster than we thought, so our timing was a little bit off with some of our, but we'll tweak that before next year, and, our next meeting is at the end of next month, so that's all. Thank you very much
Perfect.
to the township.
Thank you, Tina. All right, go back to the planning commission. Looks like they reapproved the October minutes that had been done at the November meeting, but because of a typo, they had to redo them because it wasn't posted properly. So they redid that.
Yeah, I told you I had a check for you.
Zoning administrator gave his report. You don't have a township board representative. We'll be doing that tonight, which I guess I forgot to put that on the agenda, but we'll get it in there. They spoke a little bit about the language changes that need to be made to the soil extraction zoning and PPO ordinances. They elected officers. The chairperson is going to be Anita Hooksma, vice chair is Patty Howes, and the secretary is Tyler Strange. And then they're working on the master plan as well. So, don't ask me questions, because I don't have any answers. What didn't happen to be there then, I'm sorry. Okay, that's that. The ambulance authority. Got two of them here tonight, actually. Mark Penzi. Yeah, we can talk about it real quick. Mark, and then Tim is our treasurer over at the ambulance authority. So Mark's the chair.
Newly appointed treasurer for the record.
Yes.
Appointed chairman for the record.
Yes. Yep. Like I said at the last meeting, huge turnover over there at the board. I think the longest serving person's been there since July. So, but we have hit the ground running, in my opinion, and we're making a lot of changes in how that organization is being run, and getting them to save some money and look at things a little more realistically. And so I'm really happy with the board we have there, and I think we're going to do pretty well. That said, since these gentlemen did come here, I got multiple things I'm trying to get right on this tonight. But the ambulance authority is borrowing $52,000 from the City of East Jordan's building maintenance fund. make sure I don't screw this up, Mark. At a 4% interest rate over 2-year repayment. And as a board, we figure we need about 100 total, really, to get us through the receipts for the millage that's gonna be, will be delivered over the next 2 months for everything that's due in February. So we've been very good with our funds here in this township and are sitting on a fair bit of cash. And I would like to propose that we discuss loaning the other 48 to the ambulance authority on the same terms.
Or whatever you.
Or whatever, if we can't.
These are other
up-
townships.
Up to 48, but it all is easier if it's in 2 spots. But if we don't feel like we can afford that, then maybe there's some other number that we can come up with. Go
Can I
ahead.
back up a little bit?
Go ahead, Mark.
Because I think we spent from 5 o'clock until 9:30 one evening trying to redo the budget, and we just couldn't make it work within the year. Alex came up with a really good idea of let's just take from now until the end of the year and then extend it out a whole year and see what that budget looks like. And that really kind of made us all feel better. The other thing is that our next budget year is coming up April 1st until the following March 31st. And we're planning on doing a budget based on the old millage, because we know that we're gonna have to pay some money back. And we're, knock on wood, we're doing well in terms of keeping the costs down, but we still have a lot of work ahead of us. We're restructuring it. The biggest problem we've had is cash flow. It's like all this budget was put together back last year, and it ended up failing, and it became very clear to the commissioners on city council that something was amiss, something wasn't gonna work, and it was mostly cash flow. And I don't wanna get into relitigating what we've already found out. We don't believe that there's anything that anybody did wrong, except he just didn't look at the right financials. I'm glad that Alex is on there, and I begged for him, probably on hands and knees, to stay on that board. But Tim Timmer is a commercial banker. We've got Jay Peck, who used to be the director of the EMS service, and Jim Rathman, who has been on that service. But we just got word that Wilson Township has appointed Brian Ofsesky, who has been with the financial part of the, head of the financial part of the East Jordan School District for quite a few years. And so with that type of powerhouse of a board, I think we can make this work, but it's gonna take us 2 or 3 years to kind of figure this out. And I believe that we can eventually grow. But right now, we've got a cash flow problem. I personally went out, the first cash payroll, I went to people that I knew, the Lions Club, the Rotary Club, some 3 or 4 individuals, and we raised $19,000 to get us through. And then we saw what the budget looked like, and we've since kind of put things in perspective. And I think we're in the right direction, but we hate to come and ask for a loan, but that's what we're doing. We're looking to see how we can raise another $48,000 in order to get us through until things start to settle down into the next year. And we're getting there. We have not approved the final draft of the loan agreement with the EMS authority at City Council, but that's gonna happen tomorrow night, and I have all the confidence in the world that we're gonna pass that.
Tim, do you wanna add anything?
We do have a drafted loan repayment document that we drafted through the council of the EMS authority. If you see fit to use that. The city wants to do their own, so we're open to that, and we'll see what the differences are, maybe plagiarize a little bit of that. When I got in, what got my attention was an appeal to Lions to help make payroll. So, and Mark persuaded me to come along. I think there's a variety of issues that we're facing right now. The reporting needs to be cleaned up. I anticipate we'll do that with the next budget year. There'll be some actual performance compared to budget. Our budget is way scaled down. It was like $750,000 in receipts higher than what we're anticipating in the future budget. Just kind of real sizing that. In our budget as well, we will have a repayment schedule within the budget. It won't be happenstance. We'll also have a planned reserve account or a designation for reserves, so that we're building that fund as well. We've had some challenges with overtime. We've run amok with overtime historically. We're going to tighten our belt on that and tighten our belt in general. I'm encouraged by what we see, but we still need to remain diligent. There's some costs in there that need to be considered and reconsidered in terms of what we're doing in the budget, but we'll handle one thing at a time. And most pressing is making payroll, getting this new budget to make sense in terms of anticipated revenues, and then making costs fit with that. They did some theoretical revenues based upon projections, and I would be, and I think the whole board is of the opinion to use historical numbers budget-wise, and then build from there, so that we've got a good grasp on our revenues being consistent with what the performance of the organization has historically been. So I think we'll get our heads right on this soon, so, like next meeting, next Thursday, so.
The only other thing I would mention to you is that I have every intention as a chairman to make sure that each one of the township and the city has the appropriate documents that they can look at and they can see a bottom line. In my business, I can see a bottom line. My accountant does that, and I don't have to go through everything to know where I stand at the end of the day. And I think that's one of the things that's been lacking, is that type of reporting, so that what's gonna happen is when we get it, so will the townships, so that it used to rely on the individual representative of from that township to get it back to the board. I'm gonna suggest that we get that sent out to each of you board members, so that you know exactly where we're at. It's not any disrespect, it's just, I like more eyes on the thing, and if there's something of a concern, you should be able to communicate to Alex or communicate it to us. Because I think any good response is worth looking at. So, thanks.
I had a question.
Sure.
Repayment on a loan, are you talking 6 months, 4 years? What would be the ideal
The
scenario?
goal right now for me is 2 years. And
Okay.
that helps us get through a couple budget years, tighten our belts, and make it right-sized, because it hasn't been. We owe an obligation to report to our partners. The reporting was at best foggy, and it was a comparison of budget to budget, revised budget to other budget. We're just gonna cut through all that. We're gonna have month-to-date actual, month-to-date budget, year-to-date actual, and year-to-date budget will be on the first page of the reporting going to the board. That'll eliminate all this fogginess, we'll know, and we'll be able to moreover share it with all of our partners and say, here's where we're at. In an instant, you'll know about us. So that's fair, that's consistent, and that's the right way to do it. So we're gonna get it right-sized.
Okay, so a couple years, okay.
Yeah.
So in terms of the interest rate, I don't know if you had said this before, but the loan from the city is gonna be at 4%, and for 2 years.
That's what we're making on investments.
Yep.
Not a big fan of coming with my hat in my hand. So
Okay, I appreciate
we're
it.
gonna try and fix this.
Yeah.
We're gonna fix this.
So did I hear you say that the new budget is probably gonna be about $750,000 less than the previous budget?
Correct.
And if so, what is the gross then? Where are we going from and to?
So I see this as being an operation at $1.2 million gross revenue. And so we have to make expenses fit accordingly. The budget approved previously was $1.9 million gross. And I think they relied on hypothetical transfers as a heavy contributor to that. I don't know, I wasn't a part of that, but the key to me was the dramatic change year to year. So we're gonna be diligent about watching that too. So, and we will see some increases naturally, an increase in tax rates will come up a little bit, but we're gonna go back to leaving it level like it was last year, and any increases there will just be, I won't say gravy, but will give us
Well,
some
they'll be
breathing room.
used to basically pay back some of these
Right,
loans.
so we'll be able to, that's the source of repayment. Moreover, we've gotta have a provision for equipment, a savings account or an account identified for, reserve for equipment, to help us get on a schedule to replace equipment that's needed and do good maintenance on equipment. We were fortunate in getting a grant to repair one of our trucks, so that was, helpful in our situation. But right now, I see the organization as a gross of $1.2 million. And so we have to make, the expenses fit with that. Strategically, one of the key ingredients we've taken on, at least temporarily, is to go from 2 trucks 24/7, to 2 trucks on the days and 1 truck at night. So that cuts the crews, by 25%. So those are some of the steps that we've taken, not for the long haul, I don't think, but in order to get us our house set up right. I think these are necessary steps, at least temporarily, and we'll reevaluate that as we build a better budget, so, and adhere to a better budget.
And pardon my ignorance, but what area does this authority cover?
Echo Township, Banks Township, Wilson Township, part of Evelyn Township, the city of East Jordan,
And South Farm.
South Farm. And what?
Jordan.
What did I not say, Jordan? What? Okay.
And
that's-
Jordan too.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah.
And we've been to every one of those townships and the city to plead our case about what we're doing and why we're doing it, and it's gonna get us through.
And so then the loan would be for funds basically for a month, or, to supplement for before the next taxes come in?
To put things in perspective, they're working on payroll right this week, and I think there's only 21,000 available for that, unless they'll use the 52 from the city. So it's kind of an ongoing, we're trying to get through the first of the year, and I think what we've seen with the development of this year's budget, the 6-month budget, and then going into the next year, we're gonna get through with only 100. We don't wanna overtax the system, ask for more. We could always use more, but this is a really conservative request on our part, and we're gonna make it work. And the numbers show that we can get through with 100,000 total.
It is to get us to April 1, 25, the 25-26 budget year. It is also a function of, for the first half of last fiscal year, we spent like we were earning $1.9 million, and we can't, we're trying to right-size that, so it's having an impact on the cash flow. We also need to be better about our timing of sources and uses, is what I call it, but when's your inflow of cash, when are you outlaying cash, making sure we've got appropriate timing on that. It's something that a banker might do, but a banker needs to see a solvent entity, so we need to see better financials on an entity than what I've got presented to me right now, so we'll fix that, so.
We're not looking for action tonight. It's been our approach that if we're gonna put something on the agenda, it's presented, and then we wait until your next meeting and put it on the agenda and make a decision. So, there's a lot of questions, you gotta mull it around, but we just wanted to come here tonight just to kinda, as the first, prelude into asking for a loan.
A significant cost has been overtime. We've impacted that by reducing it approximately 60% since the new board's come on. So We're still watching that at every meeting. We're getting reports on that at every meeting. It's a challenge. The walk is to maintain servicing and professionals. At the same time, you're trying to keep costs in line. The biggest cost to any organization is its labor. So that's the balancing act that we've got in front of us.
Any other questions? I have a comment. Could we just move this around? The other way? I've been looking at it the whole time. And read it for them, would you?
No.
Okay.
No. There's prayers on this side. See, the one side says that and this side says has prayers.
Okay, oh, there, that, I like prayers better.
There you go.
It's been picked up. All right.
It's a really good water cup, keeps things cold.
If I can put my banker hat on a second, there should be a printout of your general ledger accounts that you can read. That'll inform your decision on where checks go through the system. You guys know that. But, and then anything we do on contract strikeovers, you would strike it over an initial at whoever struck that over and whoever the parties were. I'm not trying to get in the middle of that, but I'm just saying that might be helpful. So.
Okay,
Well, thanks for listening
Good.
to us.
all right, thanks, guys, appreciate it. All right, Julie, any, wanna talk about correspondence? That's it? You don't have any?
I got
Other
a
than
couple
Allied?
Christmas cards.
You got Christmas
One
cards?
from Point and Pay, and then this really nice one from Pilly Wiggins, that's
Not
Jason
Allied.
and Julie Sitzema. And normally they plant a tree in our honor. This year, they gave money to some affected areas of North and South Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, Virginia, through directrelief.org. So I thought that was a very nice gesture. So, Christmas cards.
Cool. We did get a thing about the tower. Should we
Oh.
let's talk about that real quick?
Yeah, you wanna do that now?
Yeah, well, otherwise I'll forget about it, I promise.
Gotcha. Did you guys all have it? Where is it?
It's American Tower wanting to buy us out of our contract again, which they do about once a
Yeah.
month, so.
Yeah. Lovely.
They do, they loathe that thing.
So, you can, I mean,
It's been presented to us,
I vote that we say no.
well, does anybody want to even go further with this, with them? I mean,
I can
do
pull
you guys
up.
want to have an explanation?
Yeah, I'd like to understand it a little better. So we've
Yeah.
been getting over $100,000 a
Roughly,
year.
in 95, I think is what I budgeted for this year. Yeah, so it's almost $9,000 a month. And we've been getting this since, I think, 2000, Katie, something like that. Kevin Elsenheimer wrote the contract.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, yeah, you
Remember, I wasn't
were on the board, yeah.
There was somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah, and it goes till 2075. So,
Yeah,
it's a very lucrative contract. for the-
2077.
77? Okay, okay. I was close. 50 more years. There's risks and everything. I think that they're way low here, on their numbers, dropping us, 75 to 80%, something like that. On the annual income, I mean, it just is a pittance, really, and to take the $1 million buyout, I think is short-sighted. We're not gonna get enough interest to come close to what we've been getting, and it is almost 25% of our budget. But the risk is that they put up a tower somewhere else and, manage to get that through the planning commission and everything else, and then stop using our tower. So there is a risk there, but at the same time, I think we'll find out about it when they go to put the application, and then we can maybe negotiate a little bit with them. I don't know, I mean, 'cause at that point, they still gotta pay to put it up. They won't have had any money into it yet, so. Anyway, I'm all ears. You guys, in the past, we've just kinda said we were gonna stick with where we were at, but I'm all ears if anybody wants to discuss it further.
Question,
Sure, Tom.
does the lease on the tower only hold if they're using the tower? If
I believe that is the
got off
case.
that tower,
Yeah.
it ends?
I believe so, but I'd have to read the contract again. That's a good question. I'll see if I can find that
You can
information.
calculate mathematically the current value of an annuity at a rate and an amount, so.
Leave it to the banker to.
Yeah.
No, you're right, you can figure out what the,
Mathematically determine over 50 years of an annuity at X rate.
Yeah.
What the current value is, and look at it that way.
good point.
Alex,
Yes, sir.
it was recently brought to my attention that there may have been additions to that tower under the radar as far as the height.
Oh, really?
Like, they've made repairs to about another 40 feet, is what we were told, by someone that is, I would say, professional in babysitting, cell towers.
Okay.
And I don't know, I think you could probably figure that out, just a range.
Rangefinder will tell you how high it is.
Yeah.
See, because 40 foot on a 200-foot tower doesn't look like that much, and if they're up there and no one's paying attention, it could
Oh, yeah.
easily
Yeah.
be added to.
Okay, I will look into that.
The property owner right next to it has been monitoring it pretty heavy.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay.
Never mentioned it till like 3 nights ago, so
Yeah.
haven't brought it up in the past.
No, that's fine. I made that assumption. Okay. So you would move that we ignore it at this time, or whatever you wanna call it? Decline? There you go. That's a better word.
Decline of this, they're gonna offer again in a month.
You probably will. I mean, Katie just sent this to that woman
Yeah, I know, I saw that.
2 months
email.
ago. Or a month ago.
We get every year, it's every year.
Fortunately, the other people that are trying to hawk it, from other tower companies are trying to buy out our lease, they've realized that they can't do anything with the contract, so that they quit calling us. But all right, so the motion on the table to deny the offer from MD7 for American Tower's lease,
Yes.
I would support that. And any further discussion on that tonight? All right, then all in favor say aye. Aye. And that's the end of our correspondence, okay. All right. Let's do the introduction of the new board members. You wanna do it later? I think we should. Okay, sounds, fair enough, all right. I didn't know if you wanted to put that out before we started talking about stuff.
Hang around for it later. I think that was mostly for our benefit.
Okay, got you, Richard, thank you. All right, Lakeshore Drive. It's like pulling teeth, Tom, but I did manage to get two offers to work on it. I've got one from Tri-County Excavating, and this will take a little bit of explanation because they are not one-for-one bids here. Tri-County Excavating out of Harbor Springs has bid.
Does Tom have a copy? You have a copy?
I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like the, oh, no, they
I don't know
don't.
if Tom has one. But
Yeah.
Give that to Tom.
I just got them today, Tom, this afternoon, so haven't had a chance to email them to you yet. All right, so, for a brief exposition here, Lakeshore Drive coming out of Norwood south into Banks Township is pretty flat, and so it holds water and causes a lot of potholing throughout the year. And so, the previous board, back in, I think, June, had approved having 2 custom maintenance jobs done on that, just gradings. And we've run into some roadblocks with Elmer's not getting back to me and ghosting me. Reeve Riley has chosen not to get back with me after multiple calls, and I don't know what's going on with that. But the idea is that we would grade this for the year and see how it did, if it improved the situation down there for the residents. And then we could go from there on how we go forward. That said, there is not enough material on that road to slope it in any meaningful way to get the water off the road. And so that's what these quotes are for. One of them from Dylan is just to do the maintenance however many times a year. At $67.50 per trip, and that includes placing up to 20 yards of Afton stone per trip, or per grading, event. So that brings me to the actual fixing of that road, or modifications to the road. Tri-County Excavating has offered to do it for $63,500 plus $5,500 in mobilization. That is for 23A, and if we want to use crushed limestone or Afton, it would be 28,000 more, which would get us up to 97,000. That is for 2,000 tons, and if you look at Dylan's bid, his is for 1,500 yards, so he's actually got 200 more yards of material than the Tri-County Excavating bid. On his quote, which is the majority of the variance between the two, being the $23,000. So that is what's in front of us. Just be aware that one's yards and one's tonnage, 1.5 ton per yard is what I was told. And it's a big chunk of change.
Couple of questions.
Sure, Tom.
Is Summer Solutions, are they qualified for road work?
That's a good question. I think he is, but I know he's done a ton of private roads. Whether or not the road commission's gonna go for it, that's another story.
That's the reason I ask.
Yep.
Is, you know, there are, I think there's an MDOT qualification that excavating companies can qualify for that would give them kind of a seal of approval with the road commission. And if they don't have experience at this, I can see the road commission throwing up a stop sign for that
Right.
right away.
And that may be the case. So that, you know, I know that Tri-County has done work up in Emmett County, so I'm sure that they've got their qualification. We're gonna run into I don't think this is over by any stretch of the imagination with the road commission, even though the commissioners approved it. It's getting past Bert. That's the challenge. And I'm pretty sure that's why Reeve Riley and Elmer's hasn't contacted me, because they have been told to run away and this conversation never happened, kind of thing. Right?
Possibly.
I don't know why Tyler Broad, for example, would be talking to me, everything's great, and then he talks to the road commission and I never hear from him again. Like, even no matter how many times I call him, so seems something's fishy there.
Well, not knowing if you had any proposals since the last meeting, I came with a recommendation, and that's that we take a path that municipal road projects usually follow, and that is, one, get a trusted civil engineer to write up specs for the project, and I'm confident that Steve Elliott on our road, with his professional company dealing in this kind of thing, could probably arrange for that. And then secondly, we asked the road commission to put the project out for bid, so that the road commissioners would be giving their specific direction to Bert Thompson to put this out for bid, not allowing him to sabotage it. And the bids are published, they're accessible, you know what everybody bids, and it's a, you know, documents that you should be able to request or FOIA, but anyway, you know, any contractor worth their salt, if they see this is the project, I can, you know, on my calculator, figure out if I can make money at it and so forth. You know, this way we won't be asking each contractor to come up with their own recommendations, give us their proposal, which is a lot more work than I think what they customarily do for this kind of thing. It's usually a number crunching thing as opposed to an analysis of the road kind of thing. But also we'd know that we're getting exactly what we need on the basis of a professional engineer who can look at it and say, you know, you need this much of this kind of gravel graded to this spec, and anything else that needs to be done. So That would be my recommendation. That's the way I did road projects. That's the way, from the minutes of the road commission, I see projects are done. And I think it would eliminate the possibility of Bert getting in the way of this thing if he's told by his superiors, help the township get this done. Wouldn't cost him a dime other than publishing costs for the bid. So, if we're serious about getting some results and not letting Bert, sidetrack or, stop us, again, that's my recommendation. And I would ask if there's a motion on the board to go that direction.
I got a question.
Sure, Brian,
Since this
as
is
the road commission guy.
Long time. Not anymore.
One time, yeah.
Is this, all these quotes you're getting, is this just for putting more material down, or is this for like ditching and cutting trees?
Material and grading it. It doesn't even start with ditching.
Crowning it is one of the primary things that,
Yeah, but the water's gotta go somewhere.
It's
well,
got-
right now the water's on the road and the ditches are empty.
Yeah, I mean, there's some ditches down there.
There's a few ditches.
Yeah, fair amount.
But
That's
if you look
there.
at Shaw Boys, then what'd they do?
That's a whole nother animal. I
I
mean,
mean, if you want a good road, you gotta have
agreed, but most of the,
ditches and trees gone.
most of the residents down there don't want that.
Well,
So
that's
it's
what
a-
you're gonna end up with then.
Mhm.
And Charlotte County's portion is drier.
Yeah, it's more elevated.
That is true, and you got more swamp down at south end, but if you don't have ditches down the whole thing, all the way down, you're gonna have water on the road. The water's gotta go somewhere.
Yep.
And in the swamp, you better have ditches. Or you're just throwing, there's a lot of material that's been put on that road,
Yeah.
And it's all gone, right? Can you believe it?
where'd it go?
Yep, there was 13 inches of afton on that, or gravel. I mean, people drove off into their driveways, and
It's
they
all
did the soil borings, and they can't find any of it.
Yeah, it's all migrated. Or,
Wasn't
I
that,
don't know, but unless you get ditches in a road like that, you're just gonna keep throwing money at it. It might last for a few years, but then it's gonna be the same pothole mess again.
well, other part of the
Some
problem
don't
is,
hit it, and the water's not getting off the road, you aren't gonna have, it's not gonna stick together.
didn't we had a proposal for the civil engineer, portion of that, that was like the $55,000.
oh, that's, yeah, I mean, Joe gave us
That
a
was
plan.
subsurface issues and so forth, and
If we wanted
we've
to,
had other professionals that say that doesn't appear to be a concern. But, if you look at any of the professional standards for a unpaved road, it's crowning the road, maintaining proper drainage, and we can't get the road commission to do any of those things. So I'm just recommending that a professional engineer guide us in what we ask for, and then we put it out there for bids. Or we
well, I can ask Steve what he charge us to do it,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I'll start with him. I mean,
Yeah, I'll reach out to him as well, because either he, who is a professional engineer in this area, or would have someone probably, I'm just guessing, that could make a recommendation for us, but
right,
if we're gonna get bids that are, apples and oranges here, I don't know which way to go, but a professional should.
Okay, but my question would be then is, are we gonna listen to them? Because I've gone through this before too, where you get all of it in front of you, and then we've gotta follow through with it. Just,
let's see what the, I'll get a bid to do the civil engineer work, I guess, unless one of you guys wanna, anybody's interested in talking about this some more tonight. And I'll call the road commission as well to discuss it.
So would you expect, Tom, that the civil engineer would address those concerns like ditching and so forth?
Yeah, I
That
mean,
would
they
be
have.
part of their recommendation.
They have knowledge and expertise in all of that. And, you know, for 20 years, from what I've seen, we've had a lot of opinions about what needs to be done. And I think perhaps that's part of our problem with the road commission is we've had people from, you know, hunches or intuition telling them what needs to be done. And perhaps we have a situation where there's nothing left but contempt for Lakeshore Drive.
But I thought that the dilemma was that the road commission wanted to give spec, they wanted to change the specs of the road, and the residents didn't want it widened and ditched, and the trees cut, and so that's why it wasn't moved forward.
The widening was discussed a lot, in the discussion of possible paving. The road is the same width it's been for years, except it's narrowing because as they grade the road, you get little berms of gravel on the sides, and they get covered with vegetation, and so it's gradually getting narrower because the edges of the roads haven't been maintained. But, to pave the road, they were gonna require a minimum of 18 feet plus a couple of additional feet of gravel, edge of the roadway, and then comes the utility that has to move back poles and cut back trees 15 feet from that, and so forth. And it was just a dramatic change that, if you look at the north section of Lakeshore Drive in Charlevoix County, in Norwood, you can see what that would affect. There's not a tree until you get 25 feet back from the road, not a single tree. And property owners, one, didn't want to pay for that, but two.
I mean, at this point, everything I've heard from the landowners is that everybody's pretty much bailed on the idea of paving it. So it's just a matter of doing the best we can with gravel to keep it relatively smooth. It's debatable how bad it is from time to time, but
I encourage everybody to give it a try.
we've all driven it, I promise you that,
It will,
at different times of the year.
And it's way better than Essex Road.
And it's better than Essex Road.
It is better than Essex Road.
I can't imagine that, because right now, even at a crawl, it tosses you on the inside of your car to where you're likely to hit your head on the side window. Please drive it.
Is that a county road?
Yes.
All roads are county roads.
Okay,
Yep.
so why would the township pay any money?
Because the county doesn't have money. So here's my speech. You're getting the speech tonight.
It's a local road.
It is, but they are all owned, and everything about every single road in the state of Michigan is owned by a county road commission. And that is by statute, it's their job.
So
But
why don't you help these people out and set up a special assessment district for them?
we've been down this road too. But yeah, we talked about doing that with paving and doing some subgrade work, and that's still on the table, I think, a little bit, but we're trying to do just a regular maintenance option to see if that's a better deal based on, one of the residents down there is a civil engineer, and that's his opinion, and I think the majority of residents down there do not want to pony up a huge amount of money to really fix it, go down to subgrade. When they have a civil engineer that believes that all it would really take is a proper shaping, maybe some ditching, Brian, to your point, but just a decent maintenance schedule for it. It is extremely flat. I'm pretty sure I could put a level on it and then hit the bullseye.
And there's some places in that location in the southern end, I'll guarantee you, that are pumpers and tankers, one truck. You're not getting a moped next to that vehicle when you're going down.
You're right, it is very tight down there.
It's hardly a lane.
Mhm.
And that's from the large trees that are growing next to the road, are starting to lean more and more into the perimeter of the road.
Yeah.
We were just down there, last fall, was it, with the illegal burn?
Yeah, so, but for your previous question, county owns all the roads. The township is allowed to help put funds up to fix roads. And that's why we have township millages for road funds, because the county doesn't have enough money to do what they're supposed to do, let alone all these added projects that.
They need the baker guy.
I know there's a couple of guys in this room that have put their name in the hat for the road commission position, and I did support one of them. So I think both of them would do a fantastic job. But I did put Tim's name before the chairman. I wrote I thought a decent letter. Jared said it was all right. I didn't, and I think Tim would be an excellent addition to that road commission. Unfortunately, I don't think that the chairman down there cares one bit what anybody says. He's going to do what he's going to do. So he didn't even have the decency to reply to my email, which is disappointing, because I do think Tim would do an excellent job on that road commission and could find ways to improve the fiscal situation down there.
We looked at Eddie's school. It was interesting. And Harris, you know, it's probably an updated number, but per mile, 600,000 per mile.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time I was vocal about it, they were gonna stop 2 miles from 66 and call it a day. And I'm like, I'll give you a mill too, you know, so you guys can finish it and we don't have to go back here. Cause the banks have tools, installment purchase agreements, and there's other funding sources that the bank can do. Much like we're asking from this board, give us a couple years, we'll repay you. Banks can fill a role in that, and other financial institutions. I'm not selling you guys, but if it makes, to me, it makes sense to not stop 2 miles short, get the project done, and then, yeah, you gotta pay a little bit over the next sequential 2-3 years to get that additional cost, but you're done with it, and you completed it in, I think it was done in what, 22 it was, or 23 maybe, yeah, 22, 23?
Yep.
But then it's a done project.
Yeah, you don't
It
have.
was completed, and I think, to me, if you put your heads together, there's potential, you know. One of the frustrations that I have personally is the silos about it, you know. We gotta talk to each other and figure out, there's a huge, one of my roles at the bank, again, not trying to sell, but I'm a municipal lender. And that's a unique kind of position within the banking industry. There's big banks that do it, I'm a small bank guy. But it just, when you know that information, you can fashion a solution maybe, so.
Yeah. Yep, there's some options there we can continue to run down. I'll talk to the road commission about, these guys and see if either one of those is an option. Have them do the work. But other than that, anybody have anything else on Lake Shore at this point? There's a long list, so I don't wanna be here till 11 o'clock.
Let's keep the conversation open, please.
Absolutely. Okay, fire department. They want some new tanks. They need new tanks. Air packs, yeah. Did you guys all get that bid?
Yeah, would you explain that equipment to us a little? I don't know anything about it.
The air pack that we used to go into a fire. It's a backpack with air tank on it, and mask, and breathing mask. They've been quite an evolution over the years of upgrading them. What we have are 15 years old. They've reached, that's about the lifespan that they put on these pieces of equipment. They're starting to get to the point that you can't, service parts aren't out there anymore. They won't service them. The company that made the particular ones we have doesn't exist anymore, but there's still parts available, that sort of thing. So we're just to the point where we need to replace them. We've got 10 now. We feel we can get by with 8. We went to 10 years ago. We had 6 for many, many years. Went to 10 when we got the last pair of engines that each one had a spot or 2 tacks on it, so we filled those spots. But really feel in reality we can get by fine with 8. So that's what we're coming here looking for. The ones we're looking at have got a 15-year warranty on them, so they're warranted for most everything for what's considered the life of the pack. Each pack comes with 2 air tanks. The air tanks are pressurized to 4,500 pounds. Lasts about 45 minutes for a guy working in a fire. That's what they're considered, a 45-minute tank. So.
where our current packs only carry 2200 PSI, and they only carry 20 minutes. So this allows the firemen to stay in longer, without the overturn of the guys being interior, having to constantly change teams, which can help dramatically.
NFPA changed the specs a few years ago into what percentage of air you have to have left in your tank at a certain level of the tank, the alarm goes off, it tells you you're getting low on air, you need to get out. NFPA changed the spec a few years ago to as far as the percentage of air that has to be left when that alarm goes off. So the old packs, they quit making the 22, I guess they actually do like the 2216s, but you only get about 15 minutes because there's percentage of air left when you're told to get out is more, so that's why they've gone to the 4500s that actually give you a larger cubic foot of air in the back. The other part of the bid is a in-station air compressor. Do we need that? It's a convenience. It would be nice to fill a tanks in station. We've had a Cascade on board a truck, the equipment truck that's not with us right now, had 5 tanks in it that we would exchange out with air gas in Traverse City. Would bring us a full tank, and we'd have a graduated system of 1 full tank and then 4 that are stair step down. So you'd be able to fill, what, half dozen tanks before we'd be able to have to switch out that tank. It's worked all right for us for a lot of years. It's not too bad, but the air compressor is more of a convenience. Anything else we could certainly, going to a higher pressure system, we can't exchange tanks anymore. We'd have to put in different tanks in the truck. It'd be a 6,000 PSI tank versus I think those are 4s now. So we'd have to go, and they won't exchange those out, so we'd have to be in a situation where we would have to take the truck to East Jordan, who has an air compressor, have them fill our tanks up, and then that would be how we would maintain our breathing air system for filling the trucks.
Do you have a copy of? I saw that in the email, all of a
So
sudden I
we,
don't have.
I don't know if I can
find
print
it.
from here or not.
I can go print it real quick. Do you want me to go print it?
Yeah, sure.
Have a printout of it?
While you're doing that, I'm gonna corner Brad. There's no way in heck I can get him in here. If you knew this was coming.
Should have called Secretary was plugged.
I should have. Thank you very much for your many years of dedicated service to us, Brad. We really appreciate you on the fire department.
Yes, thank you very much.
Kinda.
Into it back there.
They didn't know about that. Literally, I saw you come in, I was like, oh, I got a box for him in Donna's office about that.
No, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. So, while she's printing it, just to keep our minds moving here, the compressor's 31.3.
More than that, isn't it?
Well, that's just the compressor.
Yeah,
There's a lot of stuff that's gonna go on it. It looks like a double fill controls.
Yeah.
There's another
What's the bottom line for all air compressor, I guess is the
12,000. What's that?
the bottom line for air, it was like 85 for air packs and.
Oh, is there a split there? Did I miss
Yeah,
something?
the second price I sent you had
Oh.
some gold.
I got you.
It'd be time consuming having to load up tanks and take them into East Jordan to get them filled.
It
It's
is.
just taking more
It's a
time.
pain in the butt when you're already just stuff on a fire, now you gotta worry about driving somewhere to get your air packs.
Yeah, there's some times that one of our guys will have 16 of those, the back tanks, and we'll just take them over East Jordan or another department to fill them because we would destroy our Cascade system
Yeah, you
in a
wouldn't-
very short
you wouldn't have
time.
enough air to do it.
We have the 5 tanks that keep on the truck, and they're, as Mark said, the pressures are graduated. But after 4 or 5 tanks, you've got to pull the low one out, and we've usually got at least one sitting in the fire hall full. But then you start doing that, next thing you know, we've used up all the air we've got, and if we have another fire the next night, now here you sit again. So quite often, if we have a lot of tanks, we would take them to a neighboring department who were gracious enough to fill them for us with their compressor system. So having one in-house would be a great advantage,
Especially, a lot of times we are mutual aid with East Jordan, so on top of having to fill all of our tanks, we also they have to fill theirs. So it's
So it
that
takes
much
a
more.
while.
Those compressors are not fast.
Yeah,
They're-
you're there a while.
they're a high pressure, low CFM compressor, so they do not fill tanks very fast.
The compressors stay at the station or on the truck?
Yes, yeah. Beller has one on their truck, but that's Beller.
Yeah.
But the,
We would have it in
but
station.
yeah, they have in-station. East Jordan has one, Charlevoix, Central, however, they have in-station air compressors.
Otherwise, you go where to exchange?
Well, the big tanks that we fill with are delivered by air gas out of, Welling's my place out of Traverse City. Bring them up, we used to be Gaylord, but, when we go to the higher pressure tanks, we can't do that. They will not supply us with, they won't bring that higher pressure, swap out that higher pressure tank. So we would have to take the truck to East Jordan and fill our cascade system there to be able to utilize that system. And we would have to get our own, we have to get 5 high pressure tanks. I had a price on those, I can't recall what they do rent them.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't
It
bad.
seemed like that was probably a
wasn't-
smart way to
It
go.
wasn't a bad
But
price for rental, and it was better than owning.
when you get down to the testing and worrying about all that mess.
So, you said 5, and you're talking about 8, and it must be different tanks.
Yeah, oh yeah, the fill tanks are big tanks. The backpacks are a little tank that's the you wear on your back. That's the ones we're filling off of the big tanks. That are breathing air for going into the fire, just a small 4,500 PSI. Well, they're about so big, about that big around. The air storage tanks are probably 5 foot, and they're, quite large and weigh 120 pounds empty.
But the compressor doesn't utilize those big
It
tanks.
fills those tanks.
The backpack tanks or the big tanks?
Big tanks. It will fill both.
It can fill both.
Yeah, but the best way to do it is have the big tanks full, use those to fill the small tanks, because you can fill faster, you can transfer air And faster out of those.
You could hook that compressor up to the truck
Yeah.
and let it run, fill a tank, and then it would fill faster off them tanks and
Then off the storage bank, then off the compressor.
That's how those work. Usually you have a storage bank that you fill.
The air compressor comes with, I think that part of that price was there were 4 tanks in that price for.
4 large storage
4
tanks.
storage tanks with the compressor as part of that quote.
How many times a year average you use those tanks on runs?
It depends on how many fires we have. I don't know what our run volume was as far as structure fires last year. There's probably half dozen times that we have tanks on, the guys that we use tanks, and we use it for training. Sometimes it can be a lot more than that, just depends on circumstances of the year.
It isn't always just structure fires. I mean, you get automotive accident, you've got a couple of big trucks involved, and you've got hazardous chemical or whatever. You're putting the tanks on.
Police officers.
So this one, and then this one.
Those go together, Mark. Those are 2 pages.
Gotta be proactive.
Sorry.
Like to. Reactive all the time.
So we did budget some money for this and saved some last year because we knew this was coming. Just for everybody's knowledge.
And the Queen did
This is
also
two-
supply some finance information for.
Yep, there's lease capabilities as well.
So this is 2 different plans, one's a purchase, one's a lease.
Well, yeah, how did he explain that? It's not, it's a verbiage thing. The lease is actually
Rent to buy.
rent, rent to own kind of thing. That was how they.
But that way you can space out your payments.
Yeah.
If you don't wanna have to jam it all in one payment.
Right, just like a bank loan.
They have like a bank down there that they deal with for these, types of municipalities, fire departments. But he said that way, some departments,
It's a big hit all at once.
yeah. So if you can do a payment once a year and save out, trying to finance the whole thing at once. It's not a bad deal if you look at the numbers on it for, yeah,
save up from last year? I mean, what was your thought?
Offhand, I don't remember exactly what we had in here. We put 15 grand in there for adding the cascade, the high pressure cascade onto the, unit. Onto the heavy rescue. Going back and looking at that from the prior year. I don't know if I had a note on it or not. But there's, 250 sitting in there, right now. These prices are just good through the end of the year, right?
And currently the special they're running was, you buy a pack, get this extra tank.
That's what I thought,
included.
yeah.
That's only good with 20. And then there's a price increase coming on the whole thing after the first of the year.
Like everywhere.
Yeah.
Just like everywhere.
Yeah.
January 1, we're going up.
Yep.
This is a company you've dealt with for a long time, it's the only place to buy them kind of thing.
Of that brand, MSA, there's only a couple manufacturers left of these things, Scott and MSA. We've looked at both packs and like the features of the MSA, the way they work. McQueen's out of Indiana. We've not dealt with them before, but they're the only MSA deal.
They have tags up this way.
Yeah, they run. MSA itself has been around for over 100 years. It's a mine safety appliance company. That's what the MSA stands for, so that they've been in business for well over 100 years, making this kind of equipment.
I found that they, as far as the equipment themselves, MSA was superior to a lot of the other manufacturers, simply for ease of operation, how they're built.
Yep,
They're much more durable, and for the average fireman, I mean, like I said, we're not in them every day. So it's nice to have a pack that's simple to assemble, get on you, pack up, hit the air, and you're going to work.
The face masks are a whole lot nicer than
Yeah,
Scott's.
a lot more visibility.
Big as that, the ones we have now have AA batteries in them, 14 in each pack, and they.
NFPA stuff.
Yeah, the run all the electronic stuff. And 2 or 3 times a year, we have to swap all those out. These have a big rechargeable lithium ion battery in it, that's good for the life of the pack. I just have
Charging
to
station.
take it out, put it in the charging station.
2 extra batteries and then you can just swap them out, so you don't have to buy.
Yeah, we both order a lot of AA's.
I hate AA's.
So do we have two totally separate?
One
What's
is
here,
the
McLean and Republic?
The Republic is the lending company. That's the finance paper information.
Okay,
The-
so if
That's the
this
company.
all just adds up to that 150,000,
I think it's rounded up a bit, but yes.
okay.
There are additional expenses, wiring for the air compressor, wiring it in. It's a very large, it's a 10-horse motor, so it services an electrician and plumbing or running a fresh air inlet through the building and some stuff like that. So there would be some additional charges, I can imagine they'd be huge, but.
I'm having a hard time doing the math here to pull some of this stuff out. But if we didn't do the compressor, we're looking at roughly 100 grand. Does that make sense?
There was the second one I sent you had a subtotal on it. I don't
Let's see if I
know.
can find it.
I had him send me another printout with a subtotal for that reason. I think it was 87. If I remember right. Yeah.
When did you send that to me, Mark? I don't think I see it.
Next day maybe?
I'm wondering if you sent it to the other email.
I sent the same one as.
Yeah. To my personal email, that's why. All right,
Looks like 87,575.
That's what I thought, it was something that neighborhood.
Yep, that's what I'm seeing too.
It's like, it's page 3.
Yep, and 59,000, give or take a couple pennies for, the compressor, plus install costs. Okay,
So we're considering getting the new packs, but not the air compressor, is that why you were asking that?
no, that's an option, yeah.
Sounds broken down.
Public comment.
I'm out of order.
Bring it on,
When it
Tim.
comes to lease financing,
I'm sorry?
I can't help myself being a banker, but when
Yeah.
it comes to lease financing, I would hope that you get, nothing down and $1 out on the lease. And they should be able to express it in terms of the run rate or percentage rate for you. So you wanna compare those factors, in my opinion.
Well, I think they have it set up as what, 0 down, and it was, the first payment due was January of 26.
And then what's the end of it, $1 out?
It's well, it says 3 payments at 56,000, which is a 5.83% APR, 0.37 factor. I'm not, it's been a while since I took that class.
Just because if you have a large on either side installment, that's really interest costs, and it affects the T-value of the money, so
Mhm.
that's what I'm saying.
I'll make a motion, we accept the packs and hold on the compressor.
And just pay for them?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the packs are the 87.
It's 87,000 and
So just the
575. 87, 575, 50. Okay, motion on the floor to buy the packs, but not the compressor at this time.
I'll support that.
Katie supports. Okay. Do a roll call vote, that's a lot of money.
Can I-
Richard?
can I
Yeah,
ask a question?
sure. Oh, sorry, more discussion, go ahead.
So what's the downside of adding a compressor later? Is,
Not really a downside.
you just don't
but
have the convenience.
It takes 3 hours for us to fill tanks to go to East Jordan, that's 3 hours.
Well,
Somebody's gotta do that.
Not to mention, we had it back, a couple months ago, we had 2 fires in one day. Well, while we were on scene, we were trying to collaborate with Bel Air to get tanks filled while we were fighting the fire, and then those that did not get filled, we had to bring back and then bring over to East Jordan to fill, at a separate date.
We're going from low-pressure tanks to high-pressure tanks, so we can't do it in-house. So even if we are back at the station, we still have to go to another station before responding to any other calls. So I mean, the compressor is kind of a necessary tool with the packs. Not 100% necessary.
Can't you still get the tanks to
We
fill
have
it?
to get, but
The
that's.
big tanks?
But we can get them through air gas, we'd have to get 5 tanks and put in the truck like we had before. So we'd still,
We have to purchase the high pressure.
we'd have to buy or rent
For our
high-pressure
cascade.
tanks to set up our cascade
Right,
system.
but you would have that to fill
We'd
with.
have to take that to East Jordan, get it filled, we'd have that in station, yeah. It'd just be us, rather than having a truck deliver the tank to the station, we put it in a truck. We'd have to take the entire truck to East Jordan and have it filled however long it takes to top those tanks off. Somebody's gonna sit there for a number of hours with that truck until those tanks are full, with the advantage.
And you're
of-
gonna pay them.
How much of the millage
You're gonna
is
pay them
for
to
the
sit
fire?
there?
Yeah, oh,
So,
yeah, somebody's
right,
gonna pay.
so how much money do you save by having your own air compressor? Your compressor?
It takes the same amount of time to fill them in-house, except
for the
But you're not driving to
Pipeline,
East
yeah,
Jordan and then
pipeline.
sitting?
Correct. The compressor keeps, it's like an air compressor in your shop, the compressor keeps the tanks full. Whereas if the truck tanks in the truck, we're gonna use them until we can't use them anymore, down to the level, when they get down to that pressure that we can't fill our tanks anymore. then we take the truck over.
And you're taking that truck that has our jaws, taking a truck out of service, take
Everything.
some time
To
of,
go to East
time of
Jordan.
a fireman to stand there and.
And then
wait
if
for
something
his truck
happens in the
to
trucks in
serve.
East Jordan,
And that is the
being
kind of
filled.
catch-22.
But I totally understand where you're coming
Yeah,
from.
it's
I
a
mean,
chunk of money. It's a
Yeah,
chunk of
we
money.
we can make it work, it's
We
just more
keep-
convenient to have the air compressor.
We keep the Cascade, it's a very good point, we keep the Cascade on our heavy rescue, which is in the shop.
Yeah.
But when it's in-house, it has our jaws of life, it has our cribbing for any
Yeah,
accidents.
and all our air packs.
It is our hardware store, so if it's over in East Jordan, something happens, other than a medical call, we're in trouble. If it's not in this district. So it's something to, not trying to scare you, but it is a risk, obviously.
How is East Jordan gonna fill our truck?
We have the money.
Yeah, okay, so, yeah.
We have a motion on the floor.
All right, hold on, just give me,
Well, we have-
give me a
we
second,
have
guys.
to address the-
Give me just 1 second. We have a motion on the floor and a support to pay for this, the SCBA packs. Let's start there. Any more discussion on that? Okay, Richard? Throwing you into the fire on day one.
No.
No? Okay, Mark?
The
Just the packs for 87,000.
yes.
Okay? Katie?
I'm gonna vote no. Appearing this discussion, we have the money with this special assessment, we can raise the rate, whatever we need to next year if we need the funds. There's
Okay.
no reason. I hear them talking, I trust their judgment. It sounds like this is we need the whole shooting match. So I'm voting no on my own motion.
Okay,
I'm gonna vote no.
no? I was gonna vote yes. I will vote yes. So Marv and I are yeses to 3 no's. That fails. Now moving on.
I'd like to make a motion that we do the whole thing, including the compressor.
Okay, motion on the floor to do the whole thing,
I'll support that too.
and we're just gonna pay for it, not lease it.
Right.
Okay?
Pay for it. Got the
Katie
money.
supports.
Support.
Any further discussion on this? All right, I'll start with you this time, Katie.
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Marv?
Yes.
Richard?
Yes.
Yes for me as well. Okay. Knowing that we have 265 in the bank and another 140 coming down the pipe here in a couple months, we'll be
Yeah, that's what
fine.
it's for. It's to be used for.
I just don't want to bring us down too low, right? So
That is
knowing,
certainly one of the things we all believe in strongly. Appreciate
We
you guys a
really
lot.
appreciate that. Board members are great with us.
I wanted to get things moving, we were.
no, that's fine, you're good. Marv.
Tagging
Nope,
too
that's
long.
good, yep,
Yeah, I needed to support that too.
we're good. Everything's good, everything's,
Right thing to do with having the money available.
yep, absolutely. Okay, that's off the table. We're done with that for now, for tonight. All right. Just for, again, educational purposes, we did start talking about a cleanup safety policy back in June after the last cleanup. I wrote something up. You guys have a copy of it. I would prefer to sit on that till later tonight in case we want to talk about it, we can, but.
We got plenty of time, let's do that next month.
Okay, sounds good. I don't think anything's happening with the kitchen yet, right, Dave? You're gonna wait till after Christmas,
Wait
right?
till after, sounds like there might be something right after the first of the year. And then we're kind of open. There's a group that uses it weekly, and they're just gonna work around.
Okay. Oh, the tag along
Tag-along.
Tuesdays?
the tag
Okay.
lines. Yeah, I think we've got that metal bench and a microwave. We might just set it up here so they have
Something.
a little bit of accommodations. But sounds like it might be source snacks outside the building.
Sweet. Thank you. All right, up ahead gov. So I went to the, this is what we talked about last month, the texting system for the community. I did go to the villages meeting last week, I think, what it was. And the village has agreed to split it with us. The monthly charge for up ahead is $224 a month with a $500 startup fee. And again, the village has agreed to split that with us. Beth made some phone calls, looked at another one. If you guys have that on the second page, maybe it's another company that also does it. But it seemed like it was a little more money. Well, it's no marketing stuff and,
Yeah, so, yes, based on, my research, and I actually use the project broadcast for my business as well. I would recommend going with the up ahead, because essentially both plans are based on credits, okay? The credits are only used when you schedule these messages, so if there's any back and forth between residents, those do not count towards your credits. However, upahead.gov, and talking with them, I know Alex has talked with them, I talked to them today, I just got our credits upped, they doubled it for no cost to us. And they said that if we happen to go above that credits, being this is our first year using this, and we don't necessarily know how many messages we're gonna send. I know that with the village, they're gonna, where they're gonna split the cost with us. I know I'll use it as Parks and Rec, I'm gonna help you guys. It's gonna be a great thing for our township. However, being the first year, how many messages are we gonna send? I'd love to send out all sorts of things about the things that are going on in the community, because, once again, if we can keep all of our residents engaged, there's transparency there, and then more and more community support. So I do believe this is an incredible asset to us. That being said, if Up Ahead is going, they're also gonna eat, if we go over that 40,000, they're just gonna eat the rest. That comes out of no cost to us whatsoever. So, that being said, I did type up a comparison, just to take a peek at that. It's a double-sided sheet there, so you'll have Up Ahead on one side and Project Broadcast on the other. There's a section there where I talked about the max credits, but the pros of Up Ahead, for instance, there's a map selection feature. So if we need to get a message out to a portion of Banks Township, say for instance utilities or something that's only going to affect a certain region, then we can go ahead, go on a map selection, and it'll send out a message directly to those residents. So we're not wasting money on all sorts of other things, but also with the other program, we would have to manually create that group per location, which takes time, and going down a map and saying, okay, this address, now I gotta put it all in a group, and so it doesn't make any sense to do that. I mean, time-wise, when we're trying to spit information out quickly. The other pro with the Up Ahead is that they do robocalls, okay? Now, mind you, there is a small charge for these, $49 a month. Really, it's nothing to add that on, in my opinion, and it's useful. They also have robocalls, which is something that would be interesting to look at, and I can delve into this. If we have residents that need to be notified about something and do not have a cell phone or easy access to internet, which potentially there are, several of those there, and they only have a landline, Up Ahead is going to be able to still push that message through the landline, and they'll be able to give them a call, essentially read over the phone what the message is that is being said, so we're not missing anybody. Project Broadcast does not even have that option whatsoever. So I think that is definitely, for safety reasons and or other reasons, that's a good thing to have too. Not to mention, Up Ahead is also going to give us an entire marketing plan. So yes, we can go door to door and we can post something up at the township hall, but we really want to make this easy for our residents, okay? We put lots of information up here and it's a great source, but I'm gonna tell you, with kids running around, and I'm not up at the township hall all the time looking for what's going on. If we can spit these messages out quickly and get it to the residents, they're going to appreciate that a lot more. We're gonna have a lot more community engagement, and Up Ahead is gonna help us do that so we can get them all to opt in. A few of the options they're going to do is they can add a widget to our website, so it's just a little thing on the website, right? You can click on, make it really easy for them to opt in and sign up. Not only that, but we can also sign them up to different groups. So if you only want to hear about the meeting minutes, because we'll put those out, you only have to hear about the meeting minutes. You don't have to hear about maybe things going on in the community if you don't want to. But maybe as a parent that has local kids, they don't necessarily need to see meeting minutes all the time. They don't need that message. They can go on the website and get it if they want. They can also hear just about that group of messages. So it is very customizable in that aspect, and like I said, Up Ahead's gonna help us do that. They're also gonna create QR codes and help us create flyers so that we can hit all of our residents at wherever they're at, whether it's text or looking at a flyer, heading to the front porch and hearing about it. They're gonna help us put together this comprehensive plan so we can get everybody in quickly. The only option that I said was maybe a con, maybe not, is there is not an email option on this. It is strictly text messaging and or that robocall if we choose to opt into the robocall. So no email. But once again, I think the pros outweigh the cons in this. Project Broadcast does do email, and there's no first time setup fee, but then you're paying somebody to manually put all those in, and let me tell you, it takes a little while. So if you wanted to pay that hourly wage, you're gonna end up doing the same thing that actually Page Ahead, they only want $500 to do that. You'd end up paying that in payroll for somebody to set all that up manually anyway. So I do think this is a huge asset for our township, especially if the village is gonna be willing to split the cost with us. And once again, up ahead, if we decide to go over, they're gonna take the brunt of that, and we won't have to worry about it, where Project Broadcast would end up charging you more. So that's my opinion on it. But if anybody has any questions, I've done a lot of research into both of these. I'd be happy to answer anything that you have, but I would push to go forward with Up Ahead even for a little bit extra price. It's definitely worth the features that the township would utilize.
So the total cost is $224 a month, plus the 500.
Correct.
And
Correct.
the village would pay half of that.
Half of
Yes.
both of those things, yes.
Yep, and it will be billed annually. So $224 a month times 12, plus that extra $500 ends up being just slightly over $3,000. So about $3,100, and that's just a rough roundabout in my head real quick as I put those numbers together. But once again, the township's gonna split that with us, so we're only looking at $1,500 for the year and be able to communicate on a whim with every resident that signs up. So, and I'm basing all these numbers on 1,600 residents.
Yeah, it's assuming basically 100% participation, which you probably won't have, which is good.
But what are we trying to communicate? I mean, as a government, we'd be communicating meeting minutes, and that doesn't go in a text. You can't put 4 pages of meeting minutes in.
You don't, you put a link to it. So so essentially what you would do is, you say, here's the meeting minutes for, December's meeting minutes, and they click on a link and they'll be able to look at all of those. So you don't attach 4 pages into a text message by any means, because that would be very lengthy and nobody would wanna look at that, so.
And the other thing would be public hearings.
Yep.
I would say
What else is there?
like the meeting
Emergency, There was
agendas.
also the idea of a gas leak or a road closure due to a power line down or something like
Correct.
that could also be pushed out, push notification.
Yeah, that could be
to,
super
people in that area.
helpful.
You could
Yeah.
pick an area, if we have a structure fire that people need to avoid an
That's
area or a
exactly
line
what I
down
was
or
thinking.
something like that, or treatment road closed due to
Like the
a
power line,
line
31,
crossing.
Yeah.
we had to
Yeah.
shut down
We
for
had-
10
we
hours
shut
that
down
day.
31 for 7 hours one
Nobody
time.
knew.
No, absolutely. I was
You
actually,
could-
as I was
you could
explaining
alert
that, I was
area
thinking that would be very useful.
There's an issue here and to avoid it. And that's
It would be
part of the
bad.
system.
There's potential to communicate other things as well, like
It's more than.
trunk or treat
Right.
things, and, there's good community engagement stuff out there that it can be used for. As much as I wish it was still 1955, it's not.
So who's
And
the administrator? Who loads the content to this?
It would, we might have that might be one of the deputy clerk's things, or, I'll end up doing it, one of those kind of things.
Reminded people
Yeah, I mean,
dump days coming.
Yeah,
very,
dump day hours and,
I'm very versed in these types of systems. So, I mean, I'm happy to work with them to get this all set up, but safety-wise, I think it's a huge asset. The other thing is that, if we wanna push, say, any type of event, that's happening in the local area, I think that will be huge, so.
Can't we do almost, not emergencies probably, but everything else we can do through email without having to pay a fee? It's just having a list of people sign up their emails and one click and it's out.
A lot of people don't read emails.
Well, that would be my only, I guess, opinion on that is that, we do have a lot of, like a nice split, I would say, in Ellsworth that I've noticed, is that we do have a lot of people that love the email. We have a lot of people that love the text. Now, you can choose to sign up for it. You don't have to sign up for the text message. But the nice thing is that we have to make it easy for our residents to look at this. And the other, now with the email, I know at my house, my internet is sketchy at best. So So yeah, can I potentially check it on my phone if I, yes, I could, but I do know that as, part of the younger group and in talking with other parents, for instance, the schools use a similar service. It's not this one, I looked into that one as well, and maybe that's something in the future, because it was much more expensive. But this is a good starting point for us because it's cheaper. But looking at how the school district utilizes email versus text message, because they do this whole thing comprehensively as well. And there is a huge population of Banks Township that does prefer those quick text messages that says, okay, yep, got it, okay, boom, move on. Where, as opposed to, okay, hold on, I gotta get into my email, I gotta log in, I gotta do this, all right, scroll through and check. Sort through spam. And do I believe that's somewhat of the younger crowd? Absolutely, but I do think that if we make this, like I said, make this easily accessible for our residents, they are going to support us. There's gonna be a lot more transparency, but they will come and support this township a lot more in many other avenues. And they will appreciate that sort of aspect of moving forward, so.
Could we possibly see a savings, like we mail those postcards out for trash day? Could we replace that with this?
If you want to.
Absolutely.
No, there are so many people, I took those, so
I
many
stand
people
corrected,
said
Richard.
to me, they said, no, Katie, I need this, it has the information I want.
She's not on
We have a very demographic, and we have to think of people that US, first class mail. I hate the texting things, I subscribe to get a discount, but I hate them, especially the political ones, I can't stand it. I prefer email. I still read the paper though, so I'm one of those oldies. I'm gonna talk about legal expenditures. So what does this fall under as far as the township's legal authority to be able to spend money on this? What is this considered?
So Alex, you'll be able to answer to that a little bit more in detail.
I doubt it.
But,
That's your job, Katie.
No, it's
I do know
everyone's
that the
job.
messages are all compliant with township rules and
No,
such
I
like
mean,
that.
spending the
What
money,
budget? What
spending the money,
budget?
What budget
your-
would it come out of?
No.
What fund?
No. What is your legal authority for spending that money? That's the question.
What gives the township the,
Communication.
Right, I mean, we have
What
gives
authority
the
to run a
authority
fire
to do
department,
this?
we have authority to spend money on
Sure.
roads, we have authority to put coffee over there for the public. What authority do we have to do this?
The exact same
What-
authority that lets us pay
People
for
have to know that
postcards.
when they come to us, they have to know that.
Yeah.
Township board members, it's our responsibility to know that.
no, I agree
Yeah.
I
So
agree
under
100%.
what is the authority?
I agree 100%. I would say, it'd be the same thing as disseminating information. I mean, if it comes with, and that would be something I would love to
So are
look
you saying
into.
advertising, is that what you're saying?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely,
Okay.
yep. Any type of information that is disseminated from the township, this is gonna be along the same things. It could be advertising. Once again, are there gonna be some of those, safety issues that we can use this for? Absolutely, but any type of information that comes from the township that we're putting towards the public, that's where this would come from. That's where it would fall under.
You had a comment?
Well, it's also, you're providing it to everybody, whether they partake or not, is up to them. It's the same thing as
That's true.
having a township park. You're providing it for everybody, but not everybody has to partake, so.
I mean, from a
is
legal
best
justification, I
for
would
the
say it's the same
public.
thing as having a website,
Advertising.
I guess. I mean, you've literally never asked me that question in 4 years. So I'm caught off guard, I'm
Well, you
sorry.
guys always ask me, we
No,
are.
that's a very good question.
Because you're well versed in it.
That's a very good question.
It's how townships operate, we're not like the private sector.
Absolutely.
We do not
Absolutely.
operate like private people or businesses.
Well, and it should be put out there to say, hey, what authority
Yes.
do we have? You can't just all willy-nilly just say, hey, we're gonna do this, and yeah, sounds great, all right, here we
Exactly.
go. Yeah, no, it needs to be transparent, I agree 100%.